Hey, Black Belt reads. Last night, I went and saw the new Superman movie. I am a big fan of Superman, and I loved the movie. I didn't actually get into Superman until I was an adult, though. I never really liked him as a kid. I was more into Batman. But as an adult, I've grown to be a big Superman guy. So I thought it would be fun to just do a little video. I've got like 5 or 6 books here, Superman books that I would recommend for beginners, and a couple once you've read the beginner books. So let's jump right into it. Superman Birthright by Mark Waid. This is a Superman origin story. This is kind of what I think of when I think of the Superman origin. So everybody knows, he's a baby in a ship that came from Krypton, but this is just sort of a modern take on the origin of Superman. And he does some really, really fun things with Superman's powers and with his emotions and everything. There's a scene, I think it's in the first issue, maybe the second issue, where someone dies and Superman sees the color rising from this person. And he sees the color, it's like a rainbow effect that rises and then it goes away. And it's like really heartbreaking. And the issue ends with Superman, just a tear coming down his eye. It's beautifully done. Mark Waid, Birthright. Superman for All Seasons by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This is basically 4 seasons, 4 stories. So it's kind of an origin as well for Superman, but it's not, baby Clark. It's him on the farm. This is, you know, some people struggle a little bit with Tim Sale's art, but I've grown to really like it, and I really love this book. It's a short read, it's standalone. This is a perfect place for beginners to start with Superman. Alright, I did a video about my favorite comics of all time, and I did put this on the list. It's Kurt Busiek's Superman, specifically Secret Identity. I put a little bookmark here. It's one of my favorite Superman stories, and it's really special to me because it was the first Superman story that was recommended to me that I read that really clicked with me. And for some reason, I just fell in love with the character of Superman ever since then. But I love the artwork by Stuart Eminem. It's really fantastic. This is kind of an Elseworlds tale. It's Superboy. It's a boy whose name happens to be Clark Kent, and Superman exists in his world as a comic book character. So he's like from our world. But then when he grows up to be a teenager, he actually has the powers of Superman. So it's really fun. It's really unique. I loved it. It's kind of a play on Superboy, but Kurt Busiek did his own thing here. And the whole book is great. You've got a lot of really good Kurt Busiek stories. Famously, Camelot kind of starts here and will continue in the second volume when volume 2 comes out. But yeah, Superman by Kurt Busiek, one of my favorites of all time. Superman Space Age by Mark Russell and the Allreds. So this is, again, kind of an origin. It starts with the origin of Superman and moves kind of throughout his life. So it takes place from like the 50s to the 80s. And it sort of ends with Crisis on Infinite Earths. So you'll notice in this list, I'm not going to have any events. I'm not going to have any Justice League. I could put so many books on the list. I tried to narrow it down to like 5 or 6 books. Space Age blew me away. Honestly, it was really, really fun, really great. I love Mark Russell's writing. Like, he just has a way of being so endearing in the way he writes. And then you've got it paired with this beautiful art by the Allreds, husband and wife team that draw and color, respectively. It's great. It's basically 3 issues, but they're big issues. Very short. You can read this in just one day, really. I really loved it. It goes to some really, really beautiful places. All right, so those are really great places to start with Superman. Anybody can pick those books up and not know anything about Superman, and I feel like you would enjoy them as I did as a new Superman reader later in my life. But I would also recommend something much older. It's Alan Moore's Superman. Specifically, there's three issues in here. There's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which is beautiful, sort of Alan Moore's goodbye to Superman. There's the Superman Swamp Thing issue, which I loved because I love Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. But specifically put this on here because there's an issue, and it is, what do you get the man who has everything? It's Superman's birthday, and all the people of the Justice League are showing up to give Superman presents. But Superman has been gotten. Mongol is one of the Superman villains. He puts this flower from another planet on Superman's chest. And when you have this flower on you, it makes you dream of the thing you desire the most in life. Sounds weird when I say it that way, but it's horrifying because Superman is in this dream state where he's dreaming of, what he wishes the most, which is his real parents on Krypton. But then, when you wake up from that, you realize it was all not real and it's taken from you. So it's very heartbreaking. It's a beautifully done story. Personally, Alan Moore is one of my favorite writers, and even though this is not an origin at all, I still think new readers could pick this up and just really enjoy Superman for what he does best, and Alan Moore really captures that. Alright, so I do want to collect more Superman omnis. I want to do, the death and return of Superman and a few of those big omnis, which I've read a lot of that material, but I don't actually have it physically in my library. The only omni I have is Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's one of the first ones I read when I was getting into Superman. And at the time, I was also a new dad. So this is Superman, and now he's a father. He's got Jonathan Kent, his son. So this is Superman doing what he does best, inspiring hope. It's got so much heart. But guess what? He is a father now, and he displays all the things that I want to display as a dad. Man, Tomasi has such a beautiful way of writing. There's a few issues in here that are just absolutely heartbreakingly gorgeous. I love them so much. There's a lot of action and humor and stuff as well, but really it's the beautiful moments that made me realize how much I loved Superman and just the idea of Superman and what he stands for. Highly recommend Tomasi's run. This is from DC Rebirth. Gonna change course a little bit here and recommend Injustice. This is that classic story. What if Superman turned bad? You see this all the time. There's so many sort of copycats of this, of a guy with all the powers who goes bad. It's a little played out. I think Injustice does this the best. It's, what if Superman snaps and starts killing people, basically. Something happens, and it sets Superman down a dark path. And this book is so fun. This is like one of the most fun books I've ever read. Just sit down. Injustice by Tom Taylor. Just sit down and read this. It's so much just beat after beat after beat. Just these crazy things happen. And it's kind of an Elseworlds tale where it takes place in sort of like a pocket universe of DC Comics. So Tom Taylor can just have fun with whatever he can, do crazy things, mix powers, kill people off, whatever. There's no consequences because it's not, canon. It's an Elseworlds tale. So those are some of the best because you can kind of be creative and just have so much fun with them. And there's 2 volumes of this. Volume 1 is excellent. Volume 2 is good. Not quite as good as Volume 1, but still worth it in my opinion. And when you get 1 and 2 lined up, you have Superman versus Batman on the spine, which is really fun. The story, the art, everything is really, really excellent in Injustice. And I don't think it gets talked about as much as it should. It's really great. Alright, last book that I'll talk about here. Again, Mark Waid. The reason I put this one on the list is because of the art by Alex Ross. This is Kingdom Come. This isn't necessarily a good place for beginners to start. That's why I'm putting it at the very end of this list. But once you've read everything I put on here, jump into this. Kingdom Come. It is Superman. He is an old man. You can kind of tell here. He's got gray hair. He's retired, and they need him back. So the heroes come to get Superman back for one last battle to save, you know, Earth. It's just the art really is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at this Alex Ross art. So this is, you know, kind of cheating because it's kind of a Justice League book. But again, Mark Waid, excellent writer, paired with Alex Ross's art, and there's some really, really fun moments in this book. And this is actually the biggest book I have. It's an absolute edition. It's huge. Look, I'll grab a paperback here, and you can see just how much bigger it is than a regular paperback. It's huge. All right, that's it. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. Got a little microphone situation, a different setup here, so tell me what you guys think about it. And hopefully you guys enjoy some Superman comics, and definitely go check out the movie because it's really good. It's really fun. Lots of heart, lots of action, lots of humor, but it's all blended very well, balanced perfectly. I really, really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, y'all. See ya.